Hello and welcome to another interesting English language class. My name is Precious Balogun. Our theme for today is Literacy Skills, Writing for Communication. Today's topic is record keeping. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to define records, list different kinds of records, state the importance of records and record keeping. And lastly, keep records concisely and accurately for future reference. Imagine a family or a country without a history, or an organization or company without records. One thing that is very important for the successful running of any organized administration is record keeping. Now let's take a look at what records are. Records are written or oral evidences about the activities of a particular organization or government body. Now they could be in form of printed documents in files on an electronic device, or they could also be in forms like memorandums, books, plans, maps, drawings, diagrams, pictorials or graphic works, photographs, films, microfilms, sound recordings, videotapes, and so on. Moving on, a record is a document that contains activities, information, or data gathered, maintained, and used by an organization or a government body. Now, this serves as proof of activity or transaction that happened in that organization or government body. Now, let's take a look at the types of records that we have. First, we have correspondence records. These are written communication exchanged within an office or organization. They could be in form of letters, circulars, notice, memos, inquiries, and so on. Moving on, the next type of records is what we call the personnel records. These are documents that contain the history and relevant information about personnel or employees of a particular organization. Going on, we have accounting records. Now, from the name accounting, you can tell that they have to do with financial statements and records. Examples of these types of records are organizations' assets, liabilities, invoices, cash receipts, memos, deposit slips, sales records, profit and loss statements, vouchers, and balance sheets. These records are used as financial evidences and also used in preparing financial statements. They are also kept by the financial officer. Next, we have the legal records. These records are records that are kept by legal practitioners or lawyers. They are records of business contracts, deeds, mortgage, business deals, taxes, and so on. Moving on, we have progress records. These records show the growth of an organization. They are records that give information about the progress of an organization or a government body. Next, we have miscellaneous records. These records give information about the extra activities or transactions carried out in an organization that is not mentioned in the other types of records. And lastly, for this lesson, we have the personal records. Personal records are documentations of the events and experiences of an individual. Some examples include letters, emails, photographs, and diaries. Now let's take a look at the diary. A diary is an example of a personal record. This is the daily, weekly, or monthly documentation of an individual's feelings, experiences, opinions, and so on. A typical example of a diary is Anne Frank's diary. Anne Frank was a young girl of 13 years who received a diary on her 13th birthday from her father. Now, she documented all the activities that happened between the space of 2 years before her demise. Later on, her diary was discovered where she documented her experiences of the Nazis' occupation during the World War II. Now, having looked at the types of records, let's go on to see the importance of records. Records serve as evidences. With a record, you can give proof of your transactions and activities. For example, you can use records to serve as evidence to identify the abuse of power, misuse of position or resources, misappropriation of funds, or other fraudulent activities. With these, you can prevent loss, fraud, corruption, or wrong prosecution. Moving on, records help to preserve information and knowledge. For example, the books we read about the history, origin, and culture of our country. Also, records help in good decision making. When we have proper recording, we can be able to make good decisions. For example, a family that has a proper financial record can always make a good decision when it comes to finances. Next, records help to monitor progress. With proper recording, you can tell if your business is progressing, static, or retrogressing. And lastly, for this class, records help to prepare financial statements. Having looked at the importance of records, let's take a look at the features of records. First, a record must have content and context. This means that a record must contain specific information, action, or transactions that has taken place. Also, a record should state the source of information. It must also describe how the information was used, the purpose of the information, the date, the time, and the people involved or that took part in the transaction. Another feature of a record is authenticity. A record must be provable or verifiable. Next, we have unaltered. A record must be intact. When we say intact, it means no information must be removed. All information or transaction that has happened at that time must be properly recorded and documented. Next, a record must be usable. This means you can easily access a document and also extract information and properly use it. And lastly, for the features of a record, we have accuracy. We must be able to trust the authenticity of a record. How true is this record? And to be able to do that, every transaction or activity must be properly documented immediately the action takes place. Now, let's go on to see the language of records. The language of a record must be concise. And when we say concise, we mean that the record must contain the required information in clear terms and must be comprehensive enough, containing all the required information needed. The language of a record must be accurate, which means it must be true in every detail. Moving on, the language of a record should be devoid of irrelevant details. And lastly, the choice of words. The words used in a record must be simple and clear enough to be understood by anyone. Note that when recording what has been said by a person, you should make use of the exact words or phrases the person used. Having said all these, we've come to the end of today's class. But before we go, let's take a quick summary of all we've learned so far. First, we've learned that a record is a written or oral evidence or information documented for future use. Also, we've learned that there are different types of records, namely correspondence, personnel, accounting, legal, miscellaneous, and personal records. And lastly, we've learned that a good record must have the following features. It must have content and context. It must be authentic. It must be unaltered. It must be usable, and it must be reliable. It's question time. Question 1. Which among these is a feature of a good record? A. It is lengthy. B. It is verifiable. C. It is irrelevant. Or D. It is uncertain. The correct answer is B. A good record is verifiable. Question 2. Which of the following statements is true? A personal record is used to A. Give the progress report of a company. B. Prepare financial record of an organization. C. Preserve business contracts and mortgage. Or D. Keep track of personal events and experiences. The correct answer is D. A personal record is used to keep track of personal events and experiences. I'm sure you now know the importance of proper record keeping. Thank you for your time. Until we meet again in our next class, see you and bye.